What's going on, guys? Thanks for being here and spending your Tuesday evening with me. I am solo tonight, and I'm going to scroll up and say hello to some people. I've got my screens a little bit different, so hopefully I won't be looking away too much all night long. But first in the house, Mark Wolf, thanks for coming in. Laura Kramer listening in. Hawkins Family Adventure, Thrifty Angela, Felix, you guys, thanks for moderating. All my moderators drop your links whenever you want. I missed Felix's live. I feel horrible. I'll have to go back and watch that. Crystal's in the house. Janine, welcome in. Aloha. Thanks for coming in. And Miles to go. Hello, hello. And Tim, Patty A. I'm not going to say hi to too many people because Kelly is in the other room. It's her birthday week, and it's the last day of birthday week, and she is playing Rummy Cube, and she may or may not need Rummy Cube Anonymous and get a little help with her addiction. So, no, just kidding. Les, thanks for being here, and all right, I'm going to say hi to a couple more people. Gracie is heading in tomorrow for some work on the Class C, coming down for the meetup. Mo, bang for your bucks. All right, guys, I'm going to skip ahead. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is going to be a little weird looking at the opposite screens. Before I get started tonight, I'm going to give a shout out to all my channel members and Patreons. I appreciate every one of my channel members, my Patreons. Because of you guys, we've got tons of amazing giveaways for my meetup, and I used your support to the channel to be able to do that. And so I'm super excited about that. And while we're talking about the meetup, I want to do an update. Let me put my ticker at the bottom of the video. I was hoping I wouldn't have to keep looking at my screen and look at me looking at my screen. I made a ticker. If you are coming to the meetup, and I want you to email me and just say, hey, I'm coming, because I made a private Facebook group so that we can share locations, the potluck dinner stuff. And so send me an email so that I can make sure that you're on the Facebook group. And any additions will go in that Facebook group. No use boring everybody else on my channel with all that stuff. So that's what's going on. And this week, I put out a video, and it was about charging my Blue Eddy while I'm driving. I installed one of those in Patty's van, and I had lots of good questions on that video, and I thought that I would share some of those questions. I would answer some of those questions here, just in case people didn't understand them, that you guys can answer. I can answer questions here as well. I am the only one watching the chat tonight. I'm not sure. I think Kelly and Patty are playing a game. So put a question, asterisk in one of those orders so that I know I can see it when it comes across the screen. So I'm going to start off tonight by giving you guys my 5 tips on just things that you want to make sure that you do when you're running wire in your van or ambulance or schoolie, or you may even have a car that you are doing just some minor wiring in. Just 5 things that I make sure I do in my wiring to prevent any injury, anything. But before I get started with all 5 of these, I'm not an electrician. obviously you guys all know I'm a nurse. I'm technically still a nurse, not practicing at the moment, but any confusion on your wiring, either reach out to me or reach out to a professional electrician. First on the list, I made a list. First on the list is I'll see people running their wires and they will pass them in their ribs and around their van in places, and they won't have it in loom. And a lot of times you might be able to get away with that. But wires can vibrate while you're driving. And if you're passing them through like a grommet type, not a rubber grommet, but you're passing them through a small metal thing, you can create enough friction and it can cause that insulated coating, that conductor, to wear away. And then you can have metal touching metal that's hot, and it's going to start a fire, or could start a fire. So putting it in this loom anytime you pass through metal is a very, very must do. The other thing that this will do is, see how it's got I'm going to see if I can I can't get a light through it, but see how it's got a hollow opening? I can stick my finger in it. When you put wires in there, it creates a opening so that wire kind of stays cooler, and you don't have to worry about that wire heating up as much, because the wire, if you run wires in your ribs and then you spray foam insulation up there, you're creating this warm pocket around the wire where it's a solid around the wire, and it could heat up, less amperage passes through it, and it can catch fire. So I've got a question. Let me answer the question real quick. I'm sorry if this is boring, but I've had a lot of questions, and a lot of people go back and watch my live streams, and I want to make sure that I'm answering. I know I saw a question. Mobang had a question. Should we have a fuse at the beginning of the connection at the positive connector? Yes. You should have a fuse where the positive, like if you're doing like a DC to DC controller, charger, DC to DC charger, you should have a fuse up by the post. Depending on what you're wiring. So like, let me show you this inverter here. This is a small inverter, just kind of along the same line as what I put in Patty's van. Now this inverter has its own fuses back here. See this? It's fused. So if your inverter is fused, you're good. Now, so yes, you will have a fuse, which is one of the other questions is people say, how do I know what size fuse to use? And the answer is anytime you're running your, if you can figure out your amperage of any specific appliance or any specific, like say you've got 4 USB ports, they're all 3.1 amps. You might have something in all of them at one time. That's 12.4 amps. Multiply that 1.25, and you're going to have somewhere around 15 point something. So you can go up to a 20 amp fuse. If it's 15.5, which it might be, then you could drop down to a 15 amp fuse. So you take whatever amperage you're going to be running and you're going to times that by 1.25. That's what size fuse you need. So like if you've got a 1000 watt inverter and it's 12 volts, and you're going to hook it, I'm going to hook it up to my 100 amp battery, then I'm going to want a 150 amp fuse on that. So, whoa, Nelly, hello. Thanks for saying hi. Email Fredericktown, Missouri. Absolutely. Yep. Send me an email, and it's on the ticker below. Send me an email, and We'll get you set up. I came in just in time to hear Johnny say I can stick my finger in it. Ah! Oh my goodness. You're never boring. Thank you for saying that. Looking forward to seeing Mark. Mark sent Kelly a birthday card yesterday. It was awesome. Also more likely to have rodents eat it if possible. And this will help protect it also from actual rodents, especially under the car. And just like Box Van D's out on BLM land or in an RV park, have lights underneath your van, and that'll help with rodents. Now, I've seen people that leave their hoods open, and that can create moisture getting into the engine. And that's what happened to that red van that was given to Kelly and I. It was given to me, and it had moisture in there. Question: if it is a fuse, can you change out the fuses to different amps? You can, but don't under amp it. Because if you put in a fuse that's too small, every time you plug something in, it's going to trip that fuse. So you'll know if you undersized it, because it's just going to keep tripping that. So if you know what you're going to be running in there, say you're going to charge a power bank. That's what we are. We're charging Patty's power bank. So I know for a fact that it's never going to pull more than 500 watts. I can take that 500 watts, divide it by 12. That gives me my amps. So her car battery, I couldn't find, I didn't pop the top again, but it's probably around 50 amp hours. So if she charges her thing, she's never going to go over 33 amps. So hers is fine. So, I hope that answered your question. Okay, I already answered that question. All right. So the next thing is that when you're doing your wire connections, to make sure that you are wiring it properly, like your connection is good, because a lot of people will wire their van with residential wire, and it's a solid strand, and you really need this stranded wire. It's a whole bunch of little things. Because residential wires, if you hold the tip of it and you jostle that around like you would while you're driving, it's going to break off. And then you're going to have an exposed wire somewhere in your van. So if you're wiring your van, make sure you use stranded wire and that you use a good connection. And I have really been enjoying these Wago connectors. These are the simplest things ever, and you can change things around anytime you need to, that fast, and you're not going to get that out of there. You are not going to get that out of there. Oh, I got it out, but I was pulling hard. So let's see if there's any other questions. I know that this is probably boring for some of you guys. We're going to go into some more just chit chat and hanging out. But I got a lot of questions on that, and I want to make sure that I answer them all. Try to, because it was a lot. The other thing you never want to do is when you are in your van, you never want to plug into an unknown power source without protecting your system. I recently did that. I trusted a power source. I plugged a cord in. I pulled too much power off that cord. That cord heated up while I was sleeping. The fact that there wasn't a fire is the fact that my shore power didn't catch fire is beyond me. I have no idea how that didn't catch fire. So always make sure that you use a protected power source. What is the largest size wire to use in those connectors? These right here, 12 gauge is as high as I would go. 10 gauge, you might be able to twist that tight, but these are typically, and they can go small. I mean, you can go a small gauge on these. Highest I would go is 12. And then I would use like one of those button connectors and solder them on. If I use anything above 10, like 12 amp, whatever, I solder them and then I heat shrink around them. Another thing that I've seen people do, and I want you to be cautious of doing this, and I'm going to make sure that I say this to you guys right, because You don't want to make this mistake because you won't get the power that you need. A lot of people, I don't even know where I have it written down at. A lot of people will take solar panels and they'll join them together. I've got probably 4 different panels that companies have sent me, all because they all have MC4 connectors on them. Doesn't mean I can tie them all together, because what's going to happen is whatever panel has the lowest voltage rating or the lowest amperage rating, depending on if I've got them wired in parallel or series, you're going to get the lowest voltage. So if you've got a 12-volt panel and a 5-volt panel and you've got them wired together, you're only going to get 5 volts. So I'm trying to look for my note on that one because I wanted to share. Where did I put that down at? I took notes for you guys and now I can't find them. So anyway, just make sure that if you're going to hook 2 panels together, make sure that they're either the same amperage or the same voltage. Can't you just plug the Blue Eddy into the cigarette lighter to charge? That was one of my questions that I got asked a couple of times. Here's the thing. Your cigarette lighters, if you put your phone, plug it into a cigarette lighter, you're lucky if your phone charges by the time you get to where you're going. Patty's, I actually had a meter on it, and it only puts out about 107 watts to about 111 watts. When you connect one of these little inverters like I did, that's fused, it's got an AC outlet, it's got a low voltage sensor on it, that will charge your Blue Eddy at the 400 an hour. Your battery while you're driving will charge that. You'll get 400 watts out of that. Your cigarette lighter only gives you 100. So in order to charge your Blue Eddy, if it was dead, you'd have to drive for 20 hours on probably 17 if it was dead, on a cigarette lighter adapter. You would have to drive for that long. But if you do the inverter like I did in the video, it'll charge at 400 an hour. You'll have your battery charged up within about 3 hours. The other question that I got, my husband bought a 3,000 watt inverter for the Blue Eddy. Bought a 3,000 inverter for the Blue Eddy. I'm so worried it's too much. The size of the inverter doesn't matter, but if you bought a 3,000 watt inverter to hook up to your battery and you pull the 1,500, like say you've got the Blue Eddy AC 300 and it charges at 1,300 or 1,500 watts an hour, it's too much for your battery. You need to put a sensor on it, a battery isolator, protector battery sensor, so that it doesn't drop your voltage below like 11.7. Where did you get the connectors that you use? These I got off of Amazon. They're Wago connectors, and I believe I've got a couple links in my videos. I'll put a link in this live stream when I'm done, but you can get these in packs of 2s, 3s, and 5s, and they're amazing. These are amazing. What was I going back to? So a 3,000 watt inverter, I don't know what you would connect. If he's connecting it to the car battery, it's too much. If he is doing like lithium batteries, a solar controller, a DC to DC charger, and a 3,000 watt inverter, too big of an inverter isn't going to matter. You may never plug anything in that takes 3,000 watts, but if he ever does, his inverter can handle it. If I had an inverter and my DC to DC charger, could I charge my Blue Eddy even faster, or will it draw too much from a DC to DC charger? Would go from your car battery to your house batteries to your power bank directly. You would not send that to an inverter. Then the power would go from there to the inverter. So so it wouldn't charge faster. The problem with the Blue Eddy, or not the problem, but the thing with the Blue Eddy is the input, and this is Blue Eddy, Jackery, EcoFlow, All Powers, Ace Volt, any inverter that you have, power bank that you have, it has a AC input and a DC input. If you have the DC input connected to solar panels, you want that. So now you can charge AC and DC together. So your DC is connected to your solar panels. So now why not charge AC like off of one of these little inverters off your battery while you're driving? So then you've got 400, 500 watts of solar coming in and 400 watts of power coming in AC, but off of your DC battery, off of your car battery. So then you're pulling 900 watts, 800 watts an hour. In 2 hours, you're going to be completely charged. Now, the purpose of me doing this, installing one of these on Patty's van, is because the sun don't always shine. And even on overcast days, you might get 20, 30, 40, 80 watts of solar in, but you might as well also charge DC as well off of the inverter. And that's what this is. So she'll turn this on and she'll drive, a couple hours down the road, and her Blue Eddy will be charged. I was told I don't need a DC to DC charger because I have the cigarette lighter in my van. Is that true? The cigarette lighter in your van, you're going to get 100, probably 120 max. A DC to DC charger, you can get, there's all the way up to like 400 watt DC to DC chargers or more. I haven't researched every single company. You can get 120 watt DC to DC charger. You can get a 240 watt DC to DC charger. Why only charge at 120 if you can charge at 240? But a DC to DC charger directly from the battery, you would want to put an isolator switch on there so you can turn it off, or a safety, one of the switches that has the battery sensor on it, so that once your battery gets to about actually 11.7, I think is probably about the lowest you want to go, 12 to actually like 12.7, that it'll shut off, charge up that battery, and then it'll only pull power to your system in the back when your battery can handle it. So super tired, gonna go to bed. I bored Gracie to death. I know it's boring. Hi Ava, thanks for coming. So as far as a DC-DC charger, for the Blue Eddy, you would have to take it from a DC to DC charger. If you've got the Blue Eddy, a DC to DC charger wouldn't work anyway. You would need an inverter. Hey Tina, thanks for coming in. Okay, so here's another question I got this week. Someone was asking me, the solar panels aren't charging the battery source. And all you've got to do is pick up one of these little voltmeters. And on your solar panels, they're out in the sun. All you got to do is disconnect them and put these little points in the MC4 connectors, and it'll tell you how many volts you're pulling in. And if you're not pulling in, say your battery takes 12 volts to charge, if you're only pulling in, if your panel is only a 6-volt panel, that's why it's not charging. So you don't have to worry about taking everything else apart. You're good, Gracie. So you don't have to take everything else apart. The problem is right there. You just got to get a solar panel that can handle your bank. So then if you're getting 12 volts to the panel, then you check the MC4 connectors that are connected to your battery bank. that will tell you if your cable from the solar panels to the battery bank, if those are good. And so basically you're just tracing where the problem might be. So just these are like 12 to 15 bucks, very easy. I use Progressive Industries Surge Protector on my class. There you go. Yeah. Class C's, Class A's, I'm not going to advise on a surge protector because I don't have that. I don't have that system. And the Blue Eddy, these power banks, they've got protectors on them. So when you connect to shore power for 110, what do you use as a faulty shore power source? I have a small, because I've only got 15 amps. I've got a small surge protector that I can plug into, and I don't know what brand it is. It's in my van, and my van's in storage, but it's a small surge protector. And you can Google RV surge protectors. There's probably 10,000 videos on YouTube about them, reviewing them. I think Steve from Adventures, RV Adventures. I know I got that wrong. I think he's got one on that. Hey, Brian, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. Where's the meetup and when? It is in September at in Missouri, over in Fred Rock Glamp Ground. And you can send me an email if interested. Make sure. Hi, do you build ambulances? I have built out an ambulance. Yes, I have. I will tell you though, I will not interrupt existing wire in an ambulance. I will add components, but I will not. If you've seen that panel, if you have seen those panels in an ambulance, there's one on my quick little tour that I did in my sister's ambulance. Those things are massive. So, but as far as the bed build out, the one my sister's got, I put a sink in it, a hot water heater, water system in it. We didn't show that. We're saving that for another, a 5-point video. Gotta go back to school. Thanks for coming in, Thrifty Angela. I know I was boring you. You have zero need for this information. Anyway, so those are those points. Let me make sure I answered all my safety things. Sometimes you just want to make sure that everything is connected right. The other thing that I like to do whenever I hook things up to my fuse box is I like to use, and I called it wrong one time, I called it an O-ring, and someone's like, that's on plumbing or something, but the round connectors instead of the ones that just slide over the bolt. That way you don't have any chance of it wiggling and vibrating loose. Ambulance wiring is a nightmare, no doubt. Everything awesome. Night, Lillian. So anyway, so those are some points. Another question that I get, I'm going to flip my page here. Another question that I get is when you're wiring your DC lights, should you wire them in series or should you wire them in parallel? And the thing, here's the difference between the two. When you run them in series, you run them all connected together. So if the first one goes out, the rest of them go out. If the second one goes out, the second one and all the rest of them go out. And it's hard to trace where the problem is. It could be in the first one, it could be in the second one, it could be in the third. So it's hard to trace it. When you run them in parallel, and the also thing is the first one's bright, the second one's a little bit less bright. So by time you get to the end of a series, the last light is not as strong as the first one because it's stealing voltage from the other. When you run them in parallel, you don't have that. If a light goes bad, only that one goes bad. The current is shared, so you don't, the current is, I don't want to say this wrong. Parallel, yes, you got the same current, so you've got the same brightness. So Yep. So parallel when you're running something like that. And even if you're running like DC USB ports and you're going to run them the same, run them in parallel. Because again, if the first one quits working, all of them quit working. I just want to know how a nurse knows so much about electrical and such. I am learning something every day. I research and research and research. And sometimes, like I did my video, I'll tell you this, I did my video on the inverter install, and one of the replies that I got was like, this is kind of scary, and we talked about it, but I cut a hole in my on the top of the panel. I did mine 2 years ago. I haven't had any problems. Maybe that's why I'm a little goofy up top. Maybe I've been breathing battery fumes. But so basically, when you cut that notch in there so the wires can go like so that it can sit back down, you'll see if you see the video. You got to kind of just put some like weather stripping or something in there so that the fumes stay in that compartment. So I didn't even think about that when I made my video. So every time I make a video like that, I learn too. So I have the Blue Eddy 200 Max. That's awesome. I love that. I'm actually testing out a new inverter for a company, and it also has a 30 amp port. So this is the first one that I've tried with a 30 amp port, but I don't even have anything 30 amp to test it. So hopefully at my meetup, I'll have somebody's got a 30 amp that we can plug that baby into and see if it blows up. So literally served my last glass. Somebody must be still at work. I'm thinking my wire is almost out. Let me make sure I didn't miss a question. This is great info. I'll save this to go back on and re-listen. That's what I was hoping, that I get a lot of people that rewatch my live streams, and I had a lot of questions on that video. I get a lot of emails and questions on hooking up the Blue Eddy to a fuse panel. So I'm hoping these little tidbits help instead of shooting a whole nother video. This way, if you have questions, I can answer them right here and now. So, if it might blow up, not sure I'd want to plug it. Absolutely, absolutely. It won't explode, blow up. It'll just quit working. So it's kind of funny how some of these systems they're so different. They're so different, but ultimately it's so cool how I've got two of them wired together in Patty's van, and it's pretty cool. To be able to not have to worry about her power going down. So let's see here. One of the questions that I got is, why do I oversize my wire? I think I answered that. If you undersize your wire, it will get hot and it will catch fire. So I almost always run 12 gauge wire. The number one reason I do that is because it comes in a spool, and because I run so much of it, I don't want to run several different sizes. So you can oversize your wire, you just can't undersize it. If you undersize it, it's going to get warm. If you've got a cord in your van anywhere that gets warm, get rid of it. Check, you've got a problem somewhere. Trace it back, but stop using it immediately. We covered spray foam. Don't spray foam where you've got wiring, because you don't want you want those wires to breathe. That way you get more amps through them, and that way they won't catch fire. So all right, guys, I'll quit boring you. What else is going on the wall? By the way, I love your LED light in the back. Boom. I love these LED lights in my van even. I don't want anyone to have a seizure, but these are on remote and you can change them. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. How do you guys like this? I just got them in today. It took me forever to get this all settled with get them made. So going to be giving a couple of these away at the meetup. Super excited. Oh my goodness, you guys have been holding tight. All right, let's do a giveaway. Let me pull it up first. Let me make sure I can pull it up. Who knows if I can pull it up? Hopefully I won't. Hopefully I won't get rid of you guys. I'm by myself. I haven't been doing giveaways. Type in wire if you want to win a I've got a little like set of stuff like stickers, magnets, pins, stuff like that. If you want a chance to win, type in the word wire. Oh, look at Vanderella finally in the house. If you want to win, it's a thing that I made up for the meetup. If you want to win one of those, you can't make it to the meetup, but you'd like to win one of the little, kind of like a little gift package, type in wire and I will start collecting it. I am not going to show it on screen. I don't even know if I can. Every time I try to share something, it messes it up. I'll try maybe. If this works, oh my goodness. We'll see if it does it. Let's do that one. Nice. Look at that. Look at the rookie got it. Look at the rookie. All right, I've got 27 entries. I'm going to give it another couple of seconds and then we'll draw. Not going to enter as I will be at the meetup. That's awesome. Oh, Gracie, go to bed. I was just giving you trouble. All right, let's draw. Probably have to draw on this one. There we go. Good luck, everybody. Les Peterson. Oh my goodness. We're going to draw another one. Les is going to be there at the meetup. He is going to be there. We're going to redraw. 29 people entered. Let's draw again. Let's draw again. I know for a fact. Crystal, thank you for your super chat. $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Annette and Britton. We will get that shipped off to you. Annette, email me your address. And I think I've had it before, but email it to me again so that I can make sure that I stop sharing the screen. Guys, I'm a mess. It won't let me quit sharing. Oh my goodness. Go down. It won't let me quit sharing. My mouse won't go down that far. How funny is that? There you go. Rookie behind the wheel. Congratulations, Annette and Britton. Congratulations. Thank you, guys. Any luck since the last, any land luck? Not since the last live stream. We actually, we'll have people send us some information on property, and we did have someone send us a lot for sale. Actually, Becoming Bev sent it to me, and it's near one of her properties. But it was only 2.37 acres, and we really want minimum of 10 acres. I've got a couple of people that we're going to go in together and, put some tiny homes on the property and some RV sites, a barn for me to work out of. So we are being a little bit pickier now since we've got a little couple people going with us. So yeah, so nothing so far. I have been looking, but it's tough. It is tough. And the land, like some of it that we looked at that looked phenomenal, it was like 300. One property was 300,000 or 350,000. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So we're still looking. We are looking in kind of like the Mark Twain National Forest area. I think my son just got home. Hey, bud. Yeah, so it's a daily thing. now that I'm wrapping some projects up before the meetup. I've got several people that are coming to the meetup that we're working on some projects for, and so I am, um, yeah, it taking a break from looking for a couple of days. I'm gonna play my little thank you video for the super chat. I appreciate that. All right, thank you for that. Anyway, I'm a little panda bear. Anyway, if no other questions, we'll just. Kelly celebrated her birthday yesterday. She worked 4 shifts in a row, and then we went to the melting pot, and she loves the melting pot. So it was a good experience. The meal was good. It was Patty's first time there. She joined us. Hope you're going to be working the whole. Hope you aren't going to be working the whole meetup. I may. You never know. No, I won't be working on vans at the meetup. They're all coming. One's coming tomorrow. Gracie's coming tomorrow. Les and Bernadette, or my Canada one is coming the 3rd. Les and Bernadette are coming the 6th or the 7th. So I'll be done by the 9th. So I'll be done by the 8th. So I won't. Crystal thinks. Crystal's building out a van. She has got a cargo van. I believe it's a Chevy, and I just saw her videos putting the floor in, which is manual labor. So check her channel out. It is work. It's work. And she just put a swivel bracket on. Those are fun. Those open up the living space so much. I have a mosquito here that wants to eat me. I can't get to land buzzing around my head. I have a bug jacket. It's actually for hiking, but I use it like I've got it in my van, and at the meetup I'll put it on. So I cannot stand getting bit by mosquitoes. I can't fly. I can't stand those little ankle biting flies. I can't stand any of that. So let me go back to the comments. Yeah, Chevy Express 2500, 1999. Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. It's amazing how many miles you can get out of vehicles these days, and out of an oil change. I got my oil change the other day, and he gave me my sticker, and it says I don't have to get it done until next May. 10,000 miles, so crazy. Had to leave to direct Rob. Oh, gotcha. Washington. Thanks for the shout out. Absolutely. Thanks for the super chat. It's hot. Can't cover up. Oh. Hey, you must taste good, D. I'll tell you what, I can't make this up. Kelly and I will go see Shakespeare in the Park in St. Louis. And that's the one thing. We'll kind of, it's an outdoor event. The Muni's here. I don't even know if the Muni's still open. We don't go. I haven't been in so long. But when Kelly and I are sitting next to each other, I don't have to put bug spray on. I don't have to put my jacket on, because all the mosquitoes bite Kelly. I don't know. She just it's her body. She hydrates more than I do. She's got better blood than I do. So they leave me alone. So if I'm outside, I'm like, Kelly, come here. Sit by me. No, I'm kidding. I want to see your bug jacket. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I will show it to you. They make bug jackets, and they make bug pants, and they're mesh, and you just pull them on over your clothes. So the flies can't actually land on your skin and bite you. A bug magnet, she sure is. Then I scratch till I bleed when I get bit. Yeah. Dang, I late. You're never late, Margie. We love you being here and hope you are doing well. Jesse, never gets bit. Yeah. I get poison ivy, so I feel like we're even. They prefer certain blood types. That must be it. Except I think Kelly and I are the same blood type. I need both pants and jacket. Yes. Yep. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yep. Take more vitamin B. That's a good thought. We have awesome bug jackets. Got them from MEC, Mesh for Face, and under the arms for ventilation. Yep. Yep. Nice. I had a hiking hat. Matter of fact, I still have it somewhere. It's probably with my hiking gear. And it was one of those like, just a regular hiking hat that, like you would wear for kayaking or fishing. And it had a little zipper on it and you unrolled it and a nut came out and went over your head. So I still have that, but obviously I can't wear that at the meetup. That would be no. um Anyway, so we do have a good meetup plan. Got lots of people coming. I'm super excited about it. And not less, but Becoming Bev's meetup is right after ours. So it's literally dual events. So it's gonna be super cool. So and Patty's van is finished. We are going to be doing a video because we made all kinds of changes. And if you guys saw my short where I did a screen install for her, it is such high quality. It's unbelievable. But she was out in the van today. It was high 80s here today. Obviously, it's humid in the Midwest. And she said the breeze was really good. So happy for her. We're still hoping to get there and hang out on Saturday. Absolutely. I 100% understand if it's too far to drive. I understand. Do not feel like you have to. I know it's a drive. A bug jacket, that would be nice. They are nice. Not only that, but I've had mine for like 5 years. The other thing is when you get a bug jacket, because it's material, take that Sawyer permethrin spray and spray your bug jacket, and you can wash it like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times before you have to respray it. It lasts for a long time. So if you've got a bug jacket, you spray it, let it dry, the permethrin, then you're good to go. So when I used to hike, it was like, and you spray your shoes with it. So perfect. And then you don't have to spray it on your skin. So I would love to see the ambulance you did. It's on my channel. There's actually a video that I just did, and then there's a video a long time ago, probably a couple of years ago. If you go to my channel and you search ambulance tour or ambulance conversion, you should be able to find it. I always attract mosquitoes. Rob has a built-in fur coat, so he can't penetrate it. No-see-ums are the worst. Absolutely. I get scars from bites, bad reaction. I was talking to somebody the other day, they got bit and they keep welting up. And that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Murder mystery, happy a haunted history. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in. I'm trying to figure out how to be in 2 places at once. I'm almost there. Yeah, right. If you figure that out, I want to know what happens at the meetups. So on Friday night, we're going to have it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on Friday night, we're going to have a meet and greet. We're going to bring some snacks and a cooler full of various types of drinks. And we're all just going to hang out. We're going to have a fire. We'll have name tags on. Everybody's going to get to meet each other, probably show off their rigs and ask a million questions, I hope. Saturday, I'm going to have a breakfast for my members and Patreons. And then we're actually going to play the old lady bingo game. And we've got all kinds of prizes for the bingo game. You can buy extra cards, and we're going to do a cash giveaway for that at the end. You may or may not win one of my hats. Then we're going to go to the river. It's on at Becoming Bev's campground. She has shut-ins, and we're going to go to the river, and then we're going to do a barbecue a potluck and another fire with s'mores. And we're going to do a Q&A. Becoming Bev's going to do a Q&A with me. And Sunday we'll do more just hanging out, and we'll head out Monday or Sunday afternoon. We'll hang out or head out. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. We got all kinds of, I got giveaways and little attendance things. I've got a big gift that I did a review on my channel. So if you go back and look at all my reviews, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So that's going to be fun. Who's the DJ? It'll probably be Kelly. I've got one of those block rockers that I'm going to bring. It's got a microphone and you can Bluetooth phones through it. So we will Bluetooth the and it'll probably be louder than my ears can handle, but that's what we're gonna do. So it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be super cool. Um, we've got people coming from Canada, Oregon, New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Nebraska, Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, just a ton of people. It's just from all different places. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I don't like bingo. Guess I played it too much when I was younger. Oh no. Well, this is only, you can play with 3 cards that are free, or you can buy extra ones and that will be the coverall pot. So it's going to be super cool. It's going to be fun. Everybody can play a couple of games of bingo, especially if you're winning. I've got some pretty cool prizes, some van life prizes. So it'll be fun. I'm giving it all away. I'm giving all the information away. There's gonna be no surprises. All right, it is 9:51. In just a little bit. I'm gonna know if someone can drop van life. Let's see if Danny Griswold is on. Adam, call your sister, tell her I'm live. If Danny Griswold is on after me, we'll raid him. If somebody can drop the link. Becoming Bev and daughter are quite the host. You can bank on that. I went to her 60th birthday and it was amazing. And I went to Lady Bugout's meetup, which was at Becoming Bev's campground. And Misty is amazing. Bev is amazing. And it's just so much fun just to chill out on the river with those guys. And it's fun. And if you're coming to the meetup and you've got a couple of days to stay in the area, there is Round Springs, there's Alley Springs, there's Johnson Shut-ins, there's Elephant Rock State Park. The highest point in Missouri is at Tomsock Mountain. You're literally pretty close to all those people, so all those places. So pretty cool. I'd love to get there if I'm out of the hospital. Well, we are praying for you, Laura. Thank you guys for dropping Danny's link. Guys, before I go, a lot of what I do is because of amazing members and Patreons. I am going to drop my little thank you one more time for you guys. All right, guys. Fatima says I cannot raid. I've got to sleep. I agree with you. It's 10. It's almost 10 o'clock here. Kelly, it's still Kelly's birthday day, so we are gonna go. We're gonna go play some card games. But I will raid him and I will say hi to everybody, and then I will just be in the stream but not active. Before you guys go, if you haven't given the video a thumbs up, you know YouTube, they like it when you guys give it a thumbs up. And then Eugene Saint is here. Thanks for coming in. I'm not rating either. Yeah, no, I get it. It is late. It's late. And it's like he's got like a 5-minute delay or so. After, like I'm over at 10 and he doesn't start until probably about 10:05 or so. So if you're able to raid, we appreciate it. If you're not able to raid, we understand. So we're going to try and make it to the Branson meetup where Danny and Blaine with Rayleigh Creative Travel kind of organize it. They have a meetup in Branson, Missouri, which most of you guys know Silver Dollar City's down there. It's an amazing area to be in. Ford man, thanks for sharing out the stream. You're always so good at doing that. I appreciate that. So anyway, guys, let's head over. Oh, it starts at 11:05. Let's go ahead and raid him. Take a 10-minute break, go to the bathroom, get something to drink, stay in the live stream, even if you can't stay awake. Just let it run, and he will appreciate. Oh, it's at 11. It starts at 11:05 Eastern. Absolutely. So if you can't stay, just hang out in the chat, go to bed, and that will show him some support. Tell him that Johnny's Journey sent you, and video coming up Friday, video coming up Sunday. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for spending your evening with me, guys.